There's this moment I see over and over in consultations where a client's whole face changes. It's when they realize their home can actually be secure without looking like a fortress, monitored without feeling like they're living under surveillance. I'm Keiko Tanaka, and after years of integrating concealed cameras into residential projects across the Pacific Northwest, I've learned that invisibility isn't about deception. It's about preserving the atmosphere you've worked so hard to create while staying aware of what's happening in your space. And in 2026, hidden smart home cameras have finally hit that sweet spot where discretion meets real capability.
You're listening to the Smart Home Setup Podcast. Quick thing to mention up front, all the research and writing here comes from real authors who verified every piece of data and written every word of the script. But the voice you're hearing is AI generated. Just wanted to be transparent about that from the start. If you've been listening for a while, thank you for making this podcast part of your week. And if this is your first episode, welcome. Really glad to have you here. We drop new episodes 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today's episode digs into hidden security cameras for smart homes, what's worth buying in 2026, and how to integrate them without turning your house into a surveillance showroom. All right, here we go.
The cameras worth installing right now prioritize native Matter 1.4 or Thread compatibility, support local storage with optional cloud backup, and integrate seamlessly with your existing automation logic without forcing you into separate apps or proprietary ecosystems that fragment your control infrastructure. Now, let's talk about what to actually look for when you're evaluating hidden smart home cameras. The most effective hidden cameras don't masquerade as everyday objects. They disappear into them. A camera disguised as a smoke detector screams surveillance to anyone who's spent 5 minutes online. But a lens integrated into the actual junction of a picture frame molding or tucked into the ventilation grill of a built-in speaker, that blends into the spatial rhythm of a room. When you're evaluating form factor, consider whether the device's concealment enhances or disrupts the visual language of your space. Does it require you to add an object that wouldn't naturally belong, or does it slip into existing architecture? Physical dimensions matter way more than the marketing suggests. A camera claiming to be hidden but requiring a 3-inch diameter circular cutout in drywall creates installation friction that most homeowners totally underestimate. I've seen beautiful projects stall because concealed devices demanded modifications that exposed wiring or created visual artifacts like patched holes, misaligned trim, awkward furniture placement. The best hidden smart home cameras install within the tolerances of standard electrical boxes, picture frame depths, or the cavity behind outlet covers, minimizing spatial intrusion. Moving on to protocol compatibility and integration depth. In 2026, Matter 1.4 has become the baseline expectation for any camera entering a mature smart home ecosystem. Matter's device-agnostic architecture means your hidden camera can trigger automations across platforms. When motion is detected, your Thread-enabled smart lights can illuminate pathways, your Zigbee door locks can verify status, and your Wi-Fi thermostat can shift modes, all without proprietary bridges fragmenting the logic chain. But Matter alone doesn't guarantee smooth operation. You need to verify whether the camera requires a Thread border router, devices like the Apple HomePod Mini, Google Nest Hub 2nd Gen, or dedicated Matter controllers to maintain low-latency communication with your hub. Thread's mesh networking excels at reliability because each Thread device strengthens the network, but initial setup demands that border router. If your ecosystem is Zigbee heavy, make sure there's compatibility with hubs like the Hubitat Elevation or SmartThings Station. Wi-Fi cameras remain viable if they support local RTSP streams and don't force cloud processing, but expect 200 to 800 millisecond latency compared to Thread's 50 to 150 millisecond response times.
Integration depth extends beyond protocol support. Can the camera expose granular triggers, motion in specific zones, person detection versus generic movement, audio thresholds that your automation platform can actually parse? the difference between camera-detected motion and camera-detected person in Zone 2 between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. determines whether your automations feel intelligent or merely reactive. Let's talk about storage architecture and subscription realities. The subscription-free security camera movement has matured substantially, but storage decisions still fracture along pragmatic lines. Local storage via microSD or NAS eliminates recurring fees and keeps footage within your physical control, but it introduces management overhead, card corruption, capacity planning, manual review workflows. Cloud storage offers convenience and off-site redundancy, but typically requires subscriptions ranging from $3 to $15 monthly per camera. The best hidden smart home cameras in 2026 offer dual-path storage, continuous local recording to onboard or network-attached storage, with cloud uploads triggered only by specific events like person detected, audio above threshold, or integration with other sensors. This hybrid model preserves local storage autonomy while providing selective cloud backup for critical moments. Evaluate fallback behavior explicitly. If your network connection drops, does the camera continue recording locally? If the micro SD card fails, does the system alert you, or does surveillance silently lapse? Reliable hidden cameras surface their storage health status through your hub's dashboard and offer redundant paths, simultaneous writes to card and NAS, or automatic cloud upload resumption when connectivity returns. A hidden camera that merely records is just a passive archive. True integration requires exposing conditional triggers that other devices can consume. In automation platforms like Home Assistant, Node-RED, or Habitat, you should be able to construct logic like if hidden camera zone 2 person detected equals true, and current time is between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., and alarm system status equals armed night, then set hallway lights brightness to 30%, verify front door lock status, send notification that person detected in hallway with night mode active, otherwise no action. This granularity demands that the camera manufacturer expose a proper API or native integration with major platforms. Cameras that silo functionality within proprietary apps, forcing you to open a separate interface to review footage or configure detection zones, break the unified control model that makes smart homes genuinely responsive. Latency shifts shift based on protocol and processing architecture. Edge processing cameras that run person detection locally respond within 50 to 200 milliseconds and function during internet outages, but typically cost 30 to 50% more. Cloud processing models introduce 500 millisecond to 2-second delays and fail when your connection drops, but they spread computational load across remote servers, extending device lifespan. For spaces where immediate response matters, entry points, nurseries, high-value storage, prioritize edge processing. For ambient monitoring, where 1 to 2-second delays are acceptable, cloud models work fine. Now, power delivery and installation permanence. Hidden cameras face a paradox. Concealment often complicates power access. Battery-powered models offer installation flexibility, no wiring, no electrician, placement anywhere within wireless range, but demand recharging every 2 to 6 months, depending on activity levels. That might sound manageable until you've installed a camera inside a structural column or behind a fixed mirror, where access requires partial disassembly of your design work. Hardwired cameras drawing from existing AC circuits eliminate maintenance windows, but restrict placement to locations near electrical boxes or within walls during new construction or renovation. USB-powered models offer a middle path if you're willing to conceal low-voltage wiring inside furniture or architectural trim, though this introduces voltage drop concerns beyond 15 to 20 feet without a powered hub. Power over Ethernet cameras represent the most reliable solution for permanent installations, delivering both data and power through a single Cat6 cable. PoE requires a network switch with power injection using the 802.3AF or 802.3AT standard, but the infrastructure pays dividends in stability. No batteries to swap, no wireless dropout, no power adapter failures. I've used PoE extensively in concealed smart home hub closets, where centralized infrastructure makes sense, running cables through conduit to discrete lens locations throughout the home. Let me walk you through our top picks. The Aqara Camera Hub G3 Thread Edition represents what happens when a manufacturer understands that hidden cameras serve dual purposes: surveillance and ecosystem expansion. Check the link below to see the current price. This pan-tilt camera functions as a Thread border router and Zigbee hub, eliminating the need for separate infrastructure while tucking into bookcases, credenzas, or behind decorative screens. Its 2K resolution sensor captures enough detail to identify faces across a 15-foot room, and the mechanical gimbal allows remote adjustment of viewing angles. That's useful when you've concealed it within a fixed enclosure, but need to refine coverage zones after installation.
It uses Thread as the primary protocol, Zigbee 3.0 for hub function, and Wi-Fi as fallback. It functions as its own Thread border router and pairs with Apple Home, Google Home, or Aqara's own app. Storage is local micro SD up to 512 gigabytes, with optional Aqara Cloud offering 7 days free and 30-day subscription at around $3 per month. For automation exposure, you get person and pet detection, gesture control, and 9 customizable detection zones with independent triggers. Here's what works well. It serves as a Thread border router, adding mesh network capacity while monitoring. The pan-tilt mechanism allows post-installation framing adjustments without physical access. Edge-based person and pet detection delivers 80 to 150 millisecond response latency. It supports RTSP local streaming to Home Assistant or other platforms without subscription. And there's a physical privacy shutter controlled via automation logic. If home mode equals occupied, then camera shutter close. The downsides: the pan-tilt motor produces audible hum during movement, about 35 decibels at 3 feet, breaking concealment during operation. It requires USB power adapter, limiting truly wireless placement options. Aqara's cloud service, geofencing, sometimes conflicts with other presence detection automations, creating race conditions, and the Thread implementation occasionally requires manual repairing after major firmware updates. The Aqara G3's greatest strength emerges in homes transitioning to Thread infrastructure. It functions as both surveillance and network expansion, reducing the number of discrete devices cluttering your architecture. Next up, the Blink Mini 2 with Matter compatibility. Check the link below to see the current price. Amazon's Blink Mini 2 has quietly evolved from a budget Wi-Fi camera into a surprisingly competent hidden option with Matter 1.4 certification. Its compact 2-inch cube form factor slips behind picture frames, inside decorative boxes, or within bookshelf arrangements without demanding custom enclosures. Matter support means it surfaces motion events to Apple Home, Google Home, SmartThings, and Home Assistant simultaneously, letting you build unified automations without ecosystem lock-in. It runs on Wi-Fi 5 primarily, with Matter 1.4 over Wi-Fi. No dedicated hub needed. It pairs directly with Matter controllers like HomePod, Echo 4th Gen, or Nest Hub. Storage includes a local USB flash drive that comes with it, a 64GB drive, plus optional Blink Cloud with 30-day trial, then around $3 monthly per camera, or $10 monthly unlimited. You get motion detection, person detection through cloud processing, temperature sensor readings, and 2-way audio trigger events.
What I like: native Matter support eliminates proprietary app dependency for basic functions. The included USB flash drive provides immediate local storage without subscription. Night vision extends usable range to 25 feet in complete darkness. The temperature sensor can trigger HVAC automations if camera temp greater than 78 degrees Fahrenheit, then thermostat cool activate. And it's affordable enough to deploy multiple units for comprehensive coverage. The cons? Wi-Fi-only architecture introduces 400 to 900 millisecond latency compared to Thread alternatives. Person detection requires cloud processing and subscription, degrading to generic motion detection without it. USB storage management is manual, no automatic overwrite warnings or capacity alerts, and the mounting bracket leaves visible screw holes, requiring patching if repositioned. For homes already invested in Wi-Fi infrastructure or testing hidden camera strategies without major financial commitment, the Blink Mini 2 offers Matter compatibility at a price point that encourages experimentation. The Eve Cam occupies a specific niche. Check the link below to see the current price. It delivers HomeKit secure video integration with Thread's low-latency mesh networking. Apple's ecosystem demands tight privacy controls and local processing, which Eve delivers through on-device person detection and encrypted iCloud storage. Its cylindrical design blends into contemporary interiors when placed among decorative objects, and the magnetic base allows subtle repositioning without tools. Thread is the exclusive protocol. There's no Wi-Fi fallback. It requires a Thread border router like HomePod Mini, HomePod 2 Gen, or Apple TV 4K 3rd Gen, plus an iCloud Plus subscription for video storage. Storage is iCloud only, 10 days of recordings included with 200 gigabytes iCloud Plus at around $3 monthly, 30 days with the 2 terabyte plan at around $10 monthly. There's no local storage option. For automation, you get person detection, activity zones up to 5, privacy mode toggle, and motion sensitivity thresholds. Here's what stands out. Thread native operation delivers 50 to 120 millisecond response times, best in class for HomeKit automations. HomeKit Secure Video processes person detection on device, maintaining privacy and function during internet outages. The magnetic mount allows tool-free adjustment and temporary concealment during gatherings. Activity zones let you mask areas like doors or windows to prevent nuisance alerts, and it works seamlessly with Matter 1.4 device ecosystems through HomeKit's Matter Bridge. The limitations. It absolutely requires iCloud Plus subscription, no local storage alternative, even via USB or NAS. HomeKit exclusivity means no Android control or third-party automation platform integration. Thread's device limit of 32 active devices per border router can become a constraint in large deployments, and 1080p resolution feels dated compared to 2K or 4K alternatives at similar price points. Eve Cam makes sense for committed HomeKit households, where privacy and ecosystem coherence outweigh flexibility. Its Thread foundation ensures responsive automations, but the iCloud dependency contradicts the subscription-free security movement gaining traction elsewhere. The Wyze Cam V4 with Zigbee bridge adapter pairs with their optional Zigbee bridge to join mesh networks. Check the link below to see the current price. This transforms a budget Wi-Fi camera into a multi-protocol surveillance node. While not inherently hidden, its small footprint and color-matched faceplates allow integration into wall-mounted shelving, behind potted plants, or within HVAC return vent grills. Wyze's Cam Plus AI subscription unlocks person, pet, and vehicle detection, but the base camera functions fully without fees using local microSD storage. It runs Wi-Fi 5 primarily, Zigbee 3.0 via separate bridge adapter. The Wyze Bridge Pro is required for Zigbee function, otherwise it operates standalone on Wi-Fi. Storage is microSD up to 256 gigabytes for continuous recording, with optional Cam Plus Cloud offering 14-day event storage at around $2 monthly per camera. You get motion, person, pet, and vehicle detection through the cloud, sound detection for barking or smoke alarm, and customizable detection zones. The advantages: microSD recording offers continuous local footage without subscription, true no monthly fee operation.
color night vision maintains useful image quality in low light conditions versus infrared monochrome. IP65 weatherproofing allows hidden outdoor placement in architectural soffits or landscape features. The Wise Bridge Pro connects up to 50 Zigbee devices, expanding ecosystem capacity beyond the camera. And it's affordable enough to create multi-camera coverage zones without budget strain. The drawbacks: Zigbee functionality requires additional bridge hardware at around $40, negating initial cost advantage. Cloud AI processing introduces 1 to 2 second delays for person or vehicle detection. Wise's ecosystem fragmentation with separate apps for different device generations complicates unified control, and frequent firmware updates sometimes break third-party integrations like Home Assistant or IFTTT. The Wise V4 appeals to builders of hybrid Zigbee and Wi-Fi systems who want surveillance flexibility without premium pricing. Its local storage capability and optional cloud intelligence offer customization depth, though the ecosystem's occasional instability requires patience. The Eufy Indoor Cam S350 brings dual-lens architecture. Check the link below to see the current price. One wide 8-megapixel sensor, one telephoto 2K lens for discrete indoor monitoring. This design allows optical zoom without pixelation, letting you place the camera farther from subjects while maintaining facial recognition clarity. Its mechanical pan tilt covers 340 degrees horizontally and 70 degrees vertically, reducing the number of cameras needed to monitor complex spaces. Eufy's home base integration offers local storage and processing, sidestepping cloud dependencies. It uses Wi-Fi 5 primarily, with RTSP local streaming available. The optional Homebase 3 provides local storage and enhanced AI. The camera functions standalone with microSD. Storage is microSD up to 128 gigabytes or Homebase 3 with integrated 16 terabyte hard drive as a one-time hardware cost with no subscription. You get person and pet detection, crying baby detection, cross-camera tracking with multiple Eufy units, and customizable voice alerts. What works? The dual-lens system maintains image quality during digital zoom, useful for concealed placement away from subjects. Homebase 3 offers massive local storage, 16 terabytes, that supports multiple cameras without monthly fees. The 360-degree coverage reduces dead zones in open-plan spaces, minimizing camera count. RTSP streaming integrates with Home Assistant automations and third-party NVR systems. And physical privacy mode mechanically covers lenses when triggered. If presence status equals home, then camera privacy enable. The downsides: pan tilt motors produce noticeable mechanical noise at around 40 decibels, making concealment less effective during active tracking. It requires AC power outlet, limiting battery-free placement to areas with concealed wiring. Eufy's prior cloud security incidents raise trust concerns, despite local storage emphasis, and Homebase 3 hardware cost at around $150 to $200 adds significant upfront expense. For homes prioritizing local storage and optical zoom capability, especially when monitoring large rooms from a single concealed location, the S350's dual-lens design offers functionality that single-sensor cameras can't match. Finally, the Reolink E1 Zoom stands out for offering both Wi-Fi and Power over Ethernet variants. Check the link below to see the current price. The latter enables truly permanent concealed installations within walls or ceilings where battery access is impractical. Its 5x optical zoom lens allows placement in architectural features like ceiling coffers, high bookshelves, or HVAC enclosures while maintaining usable detail at distance. Reolink's commitment to ONVIF protocol support ensures compatibility with third-party NVR systems and automation platforms beyond their proprietary app. It runs Wi-Fi 5 or PoE using the 802.3 AF standard and supports ONVIF, RTSP, and RTMP streaming. No hub required, it can function standalone or integrate with Reolink NVR, third-party NVR systems, or automation platforms. Storage options include micro SD up to 256 gigabytes, Real-Link NVR for local network storage, or optional Real-Link Cloud at around $4 monthly. Automation exposure covers motion detection zones, person and vehicle AI detection with on-device processing, two-way audio, and auto-tracking. Here's what's strong. The PoE option delivers permanent power and data over a single Cat6 cable, ideal for in-wall concealment. OnVIF and RTSP support allows integration with professional NVR systems and open-source platforms. The 5x optical zoom maintains image clarity when the camera is concealed far from the monitoring area. On-device AI processing maintains person detection during internet outages, and auto-tracking follows subjects across the frame, reducing the need for perfect initial placement. The limitations. PoE requires compatible network switch infrastructure, adding cost if not already present. Pan-tilt tracking speed sometimes lags fast-moving subjects, creating tracking gaps. Real-Link's cloud service lacks advanced features like facial recognition or package detection found in competitor offerings. And the Wi-Fi variant suffers from occasional dropout in dense wireless environments. For new construction or major renovations where PoE infrastructure can be planned, the E1 Zoom offers professional-grade concealment potential. Its protocol-agnostic approach respects the open ecosystem philosophy I've advocated for in discrete automation installations. Let's go through some frequently asked questions. Do hidden smart home cameras work without Wi-Fi or internet? Hidden cameras with local storage continue recording when internet connectivity drops, but functionality degrades depending on architecture. Thread and Zigbee cameras maintain motion detection and local automation triggers because these protocols operate on independent mesh networks. Your camera can still tell your hub, motion detected, and trigger lights or locks even when the internet is down, assuming both devices share the same mesh. Wi-Fi cameras lose cloud-based features like person detection, remote viewing, and cloud uploads during outages, but continue writing footage to micro SD cards if equipped. The automation logic matters. If camera motion equals true, then lights on works locally on Thread or Zigbee. If camera person detected equals true, then notify phone requires cloud processing and fails without internet. Review each camera's fallback behavior checklist before installation.
Can I integrate hidden cameras with existing security systems using different protocols? Yes, but integration depth depends on protocol compatibility and hub capabilities. Matter 1.4's cross-platform architecture allows a Matter-certified hidden camera to surface motion events to any Matter controller, Apple Home, Google Home, SmartThings, which can then trigger actions on Zigbee or Z-Wave devices through the controller's native integrations. For example, Matter camera detects motion, Apple Home receives event, triggers Z-Wave Smart Lock status check via HomePod's Z-Wave integration. Direct camera-to-camera communication across protocols, Thread camera triggering Zigbee camera, requires a hub that translates events. Platforms like Home Assistant or Habitat excel here. Wi-Fi cameras using RTSP streams can integrate with nearly any system, though you'll write custom automation logic. Expect 100 to 500 milliseconds additional latency when crossing protocol boundaries. Are subscription fees required for person detection and smart alerts on hidden cameras? Not universally. Edge processing cameras run AI detection locally without subscriptions, while cloud processing models typically paywall advanced features. Cameras like the Aqara G3 or Real-Link E1 Zoom perform person detection on device using integrated neural processing units functioning fully during internet outages and never requiring monthly fees.
Cloud processing cameras, Blink Mini 2 without subscription, Wise without Cam Plus, degrade to basic motion detection when you opt out of paid plans. They'll still alert you that something moved, but won't distinguish between a person, pet, or curtain blowing. The difference becomes critical in automation logic. Generic motion triggers create nuisance alerts. Person detection enables useful workflows, like if camera person detected and time between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m., then alarm trigger. Budget for edge processing cameras if you're committed to subscription-free security systems, even though upfront costs run 30 to 50% higher.
How do I hide smart home cameras without blocking wireless signals or reducing range? Strategic placement respects both concealment and signal propagation. Avoid enclosing cameras in metal, dense stone, or solid wood enclosures that block radio frequencies. Thread, Zigbee, and Z-Wave operate in the 2.4 GHz spectrum, which penetrates drywall, glass, and fabric readily, but attenuates sharply through metal studs, brick, or aluminum. When concealing cameras behind artwork, use frames with wood or composite backing rather than metal. When placing inside furniture, position the camera near ventilation openings or alongside the outer surface rather than deep within solid wood construction. Wi-Fi cameras tolerate more obstruction but benefit from the same principles. Test signal strength using your hub's diagnostic tools after installation. Thread networks should show RSSI values above -70 dBm, Wi-Fi above -67 dBm. If signal degrades, relocate the camera 6 to 12 inches toward an opening or add a mesh repeater nearby. What latency should I expect between motion detection and automation triggers with hidden cameras? Latency ranges from 50 milliseconds to over 2 seconds, depending on protocol, processing location, and automation complexity. Thread-native cameras, like the EveCam triggering local HomeKit automations, respond in 50 to 150 milliseconds, fast enough that lights activate before you've taken 2 steps into a room. Zigbee cameras add 20 to 50 milliseconds of mesh routing overhead, but still complete simple automations like motion to light on in 100 to 200 milliseconds. Wi-Fi cameras with edge processing, Reolink, Eufy with Homebase, introduce 200 to 600 millisecond delays, noticeable but acceptable for most scenarios. Cloud processing Wi-Fi cameras like Blink without sync module or Wise relying on cloud AI can take 800 milliseconds to 2 seconds from motion detection to trigger execution. That's fine for notification workflows, frustrating for immediate lighting responses. Complex conditional logic adds latency. If camera motion and door locked equals false and alarm armed, then might add 50 to 200 milliseconds as your hub evaluates each condition. Measure actual performance using your automation platform's execution logs and adjust expectations, or switch to lower latency protocols if responsiveness matters for your use case. The best hidden smart home cameras in 2026 honor the principle that security infrastructure should serve your sense of sanctuary, not compromise it. After years of integrating concealed technology into spaces meant to feel effortless, I've watched the industry finally deliver devices that respect both architectural intention and functional demand. Cameras small enough to disappear into molding, protocols responsive enough to feel anticipatory, storage options flexible enough to match privacy convictions. Choose Thread or Matter-compatible models if you're building an ecosystem meant to evolve with emerging standards. Prioritize local storage and edge processing if you value autonomy over convenience. Accept that true invisibility often costs more upfront but eliminates the recurring friction, both financial and spatial, of half-concealed compromises. Your home should feel like yours, even when it's watching. The cameras that achieve that balance are the ones worth installing. That wraps up this episode of the Smart Home Setup Podcast.
Thanks for spending this time with me. New episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something fresh coming your way. If you got something useful out of this episode, leaving a 5-star rating and a review actually makes a real difference. It's how other people who are trying to figure out this stuff find the show. And honestly, it helps me know what's resonating. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe or follow so you get notified the moment a new episode drops. I'll catch you next time.